I don't want to hear Michigan fans complaining about it because you just wanted a free square. You thought you were going to get FSU. Now you got to play Alabama and you're just salty. That was his take. That has nothing to do with it. What is the motivation for my son, who's a 5-star recruit? Why would I ever go to an ACC school now? You just hosed the entire conference. You run the table, you go undefeated, you win your conference, and you don't get in the playoff. And 2 one-loss teams are in the playoff. Why? Because in a head-to-head, some guys in a room decide that you would lose. It is absolutely ludicrous. It is beyond comprehension. You just hosed every conference. And that's okay, because this is what they're doing anyway, right? They just want to get to 2 super conferences. They just let the Big Ten and the SEC absorb the rest of the conferences and make 2 giant conferences. But still, I'm a Florida State Seminole fan. I am outraged today.
Yeah, I would be too. And honestly, it's like, as much as I would love to have seen the Buckeyes get in there, I definitely felt that Florida State would have gotten in before the Buckeyes would have. I mean, I'm not unrealistic to that.
Yeah, I mean, OSU had a chance to get in, but that all went out the door basically when Washington beat Oregon. If Oregon would have beat Washington, that would have opened the door for OSU, because now this is the thing. A stronger conference. SEC is a stronger conference. So they would get in before any other one-loss team. But FSU went undefeated and won their conference. That should trump any one-loss conference team. I don't think that Alabama screwed anybody, because Texas would have been the odd man out. But Texas beat Alabama head-to-head. So gosh, it's so nice.
Talk about NFL football tonight, too. We got the roast posts. We're about ready to get this thing started. Please, for the love of God, share this with somebody. Hit the like button on the video that you're looking at right now. Good evening. Good evening, Jordan. Jeffrey, present and accounted for. Single Dads Club. What's up, guys? I got the link. The link is in the comments right now. You guys want to talk some smack? If not, you can just look at me, Mike.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NFC North Open Mic. It's Monday night, and I'm your host, Main Event Mike, joined, as always, by the maestro, Mr. Russell Wayne. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Say hello to my little friend. Acknowledge me. Hit it again without me interrupting. I'm sorry.
Acknowledge me.
Welcome, everyone.
I even got the Roman Reigns shirt on, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your beginning.
But I'm sure it's okay. Welcome, everyone, to NFC North Open Mic. It is I, Main Event Mike, is joined as always by Russell Wayne. We're here to talk about the NFC North. We got a lot to talk about in this NFC North, with the Packers beating the Chiefs and the Lions beating the Saints and the Bears not losing. So that gives us quite a lot to talk about. Minnesota on the bye as well. But before we get into all of that, we like to start this thing off with a little segment we call Roast Posts. What do we got in the Roast Post today, Russell? Yeah, Lions run the table on the NFC South, and we buried them with the villain mask on. I love it. Who did you make that or did you just find that? Oh, it's the D line.
I found that. Hold on one second, Mike. Do your thing for a second. Half of these things didn't load, so let me load these things back
That
up
one
while
comes to
you.
us from the D line. So thank you very much. And you can join our group. It's the main event, Lions main event. That's a group, and in there you will find roast posts and stuff that we do. If you got a roast post of your own, submit it into the group. Just post it in the group, and we will find it. Follow us on Facebook at Lions Villain Squad. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Main Event 365. That's MANE at Main Event 365 on YouTube. And as always,
I like that.
Weekday. Go ahead.
I was just throwing up some graphics right there. Now, if I throw up one that's the exact same one, I apologize. That this was the one that we made for tonight right there. You like that swab buff line right there? Look at him looking all strong at 9-3 right there. And yeah, this is gonna be a fun week of football right here. But I'm gonna go here. Here we go. I'm sorry about that. The D line made a couple good ones there. I gotta give the D line some credit. I love your sense of humor.
I like this one a lot. Obviously made by Lions fans. This one comes from the D line, also the dline.com. They're always putting out good stuff, and we love to put them on roast posts. So thank you for that.
This one that you told me to put up here.
Yeah, it's by
that guy.
Yeah, some guy named John Dorn. It's too bad Lions don't have a franchise quarterback for the future. But Mark Oram from Orem's Forum gives a nice roast here in the comment. You know nothing about this team or football, and it shows. You're an absolute embarrassment to the Packers fan base with zero knowledge. Mark Oram going off on some dude.
Ooh, damn. Yeah, he's trying to redeem it. Okay, we already had that one. All right.
Detroit native Emil Skoda. Seeing Chiefs fans complain about the refs.
Hey, you know, I'm with that too. It's like, stop crying about the referees. I'm like, the Lion fan ain't gonna hear that either. I love it. And then back to back.
You got a referee doing the Lambo leap. Holy cow.
Man. Hey, you know what? I mean, I don't think that you're going to get too many Packer fans that are going to like deny that was a bad call, but fucking cry about it. I mean, jeez. Oh, Brooks, wait a minute.
Is this a roast post or a cry for help?
Tom Novan's unblocked. Actually, I think these went into the wrong area. Yeah, here's a referees in the middle of the game right there. I mean,
both teams accused of always accused of having favoritism from the referees. So I love this decision post.
It's my quarterback.
Wait a minute.
It's my quarterback.
Taylor Swift checking out Jordan Love.
That song works both ways right there.
We gave Jordan Love a lot of love this morning.
Okay, there we go. Right there. Yeah, there you go. But no, there's a crying post right there. Packers win, and then you made Taylor Swift all upset. How dare you, Packers? How dare you do that?
This comes from Sotomayor. KC is used to getting the calls, but Packers get the calls in Lambeau. Still think it's BS when refs show favoritism. I think that post is full of BS.
It is BS. Stop blaming the refs. We got to call you guys out when you're blaming referees.
Let's welcome all the Packers fans back who are suddenly active. That's absolutely true. We actually got some that are coming on the show tonight. They are back. They are out of hiding. Their team is winning, and it's glad to have them back, actually. KC going to spank them cheeks. Get alcohol now and pregame. What?
Hey, you know what? I got to call you out. I mean, if you're going to come and toot your horn right there in the middle of the group and say how everybody's going to do that, see the guy on the right? That's the reaction right there. He's all ass hurt, he's
you know what sucks
right here. And I like that. This was just a good one from the D line. I like this not as a roast post, but as the Superman cape. I'm a homer. That's my homer post. I'm sorry.
I like this one from Carl Simley. I don't know what's a worse take. The Lions, Bears, and Viking fans that said love sucks, or the Packer fans that were saying start Clifford. And man, there were a lot of them. There were a lot of them that were saying start Clifford.
We were trying to get them to say it. Not all of them were doing it.
I don't know what this is roasting. Is this roasting that we only won by 1 and they won by 6?
I mean, they're saying, but because this particular Packer fan saying because they beat the Chiefs by more, and we split the division. That I guess this is the tiebreaker. So this makes
but
the
read
Packers
the sentence
better than
at the
us.
top. The point is, here is this freaking narrative again. While they had Chris Jones and Travis Kelce with them, and the Packers won. So Lambeau's not an easy place to play, man. We had to play in Arrowhead. That's huge, too. So that should be mentioned. Was that it? Is that it for the roast post?
That's it for the roast post, man. And we and we already have a guest coming from Packer Nation. Oh, I got the wrong background for it, but I'll let you. But welcome back to the program, Robert.
Oh, Robert, wearing a Honolulu blue shirt. Welcome to the program, sir.
It's all good, man. I thought I'd wear this just for you guys.
Well, I got the guns out and everything, man.
Thank you.
And what's up with the beard, man?
You guys miss me so much. I mean, you guys crying, telling me, talking shit, talking about how I haven't been here, bro. I hang Christmas lights at this time of year, and all the way up until Thanksgiving, I'm fucking busy, man. That's when I left. I'm not scared of coming on anybody's show and talking about how shitty my Packers have played. Because trust me, we're 6-6, man. We should be 9-6 or 9-3. That's how we should be, but we ain't because we've been sucking ass.
Calm down, bro. What's up? I mean,
you guys talk shit. You guys talk shit from your little studio there. You guys talk a lot of crap from there. Nobody can answer back.
That's not true. We give everyone a chance.
Oh, yeah.
We're just saying welcome
every Monday. We've been here.
I'm back. I'm back
every Monday.
You weren't here last Monday. Where were you last Monday?
Every Monday.
We're on every Monday night.
Where were you? I was looking for your show last week. Where were you?
You weren't looking for shit.
Look at that.
We're hard to find. We're like the Dan Campbell, the Lions, bro. We'll be on your front porch waiting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All bullshit aside, I'm glad to see you back on the show, man. And I know that my son-in-law does Christmas lights too. So I know that starting in October, you guys are just humping it. So appreciate you taking the time out, coming on looking like crystal meth Santa Claus. Appreciate it coming back in here tonight.
That's for you guys.
Our good friend Chad. Chad is a Bigfoot himself and a Bigfoot hunter. How you doing, Chad?
Good. Well, you know what I told you, Robert. You know what I told all you and what I've said all year long. You guys are going 10-7. I told you guys to win by at least 3. Did I? I was there Friday night, and you know I told you all that. And you did better. You did better than 3.
Yeah, Robert. We spent all day on the morning show giving kudos to Jordan Love and to the Packers. I've said all year the kid doesn't look scared. He looks like they might have something here. And Robert, let's get serious for a minute. It looks like the game's slowing down for your quarterback. Talk about that.
Yeah, man. Especially yesterday. Yesterday's game was a very big game for him. The way he was reading the field, he was making calls, making changes on the line. He recognized it. He made the audible. I mean, this is all the progression we've been waiting to see. We didn't see this in the early games. He won a few just by luck, by having a little running help. But I mean, man, he's needed this time to learn. And there's a lot of fans out there, especially Packer fans, who wanted to put Clifford in. And you just got to let a guy play. You got to give him his time. You got to give him his shot. You got to let him make those mistakes. He doesn't get no experience if, even bad experience is helpful. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. And it's coming around, man. I mean, if he continues the way he's going, he's the real deal, man. He's going to be in Green Bay for a while. You guys get ready.
We're going to have to deal with him. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with him for the next 10 years, it looks like. Jordan Love yesterday, 25 of 36 for 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a 118.6 quarterback rating. And folks, that's against the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champion. Okay. All right. Looking at this schedule, Robert, it's looking pretty good for you guys, man. It looks like a bunch of cream puffs going down the
we got lucky on that part.
Next month, well, the whole division did really. At the New York Giants on Monday Night Football next week. Then you're home against Tampa Bay. Then you go on the road to Carolina and Minnesota, and then you finish up the season at home and get Chicago. So any of those, which one of those games worries you the most?
Man, any division game worries me, especially week 18. Bear fans are like, wait till week 18, we're gonna smash you guys. I understand you guys are trying to save you're not gonna save your season, but you're trying to save face, and it'll be 5 straight years in a row if we sweep you guys on that week 18. And I'm concerned that we may be laying down just because we're in the playoffs and we don't want to hurt somebody, and you know what I'm saying.
But another thing is you guys embarrassed them in week 1, Robert.
Oh, yeah.
Totally embarrassed them. So they are going to be coming hard for you guys. You are definitely going to get their best shot in week 18. And if you don't run the table, I mean, every win is going to be crucial for you coming down this, right? We saw last year with the Lions winning 8 out of 10. It just wasn't good enough with that hard start to overcome everything that was going on in the NFC. So if any of these games, so you said any of the division games are the ones that would worry you. If anything, that would be at Minnesota and home against Chicago. Okay.
But I think we're going to split. I think we're going to split with Minnie. I mean, they got us already once, and I think that the way we're playing right now, the way that the defense is still shaky as hell. I mean, from game to game, I'm not sure which defense is going to show up. When we played you guys, we played outstanding defense. Last night, there was a lot of spotty play. I mean, we played well enough to keep them in check, but I mean, the way we played against you guys, that was some fucking great defense. That was, Rashawn Gary was on fire. I mean, he tried last night. He got a couple last night, but
yeah, definitely. But you know what? Your team held Patrick Mahomes to 189 yards passing. So I mean, that's pretty damn good. I know the fan base was calling for Joe Barry's head. Do you think that's calmed down to you? I know you're one of the guys that was.
No, I'm one of them, man. Look, and I've been saying this from the beginning. I didn't want him back this year just because. Look, maybe he's a great defensive coach. He hasn't shown it from what I see. We had one good season his first year where he actually improved us. But I mean, bro, with the talent we have on this team, you get another coordinator in here who's actually got some common sense and is focused. He could do a lot with this defense. He can make us so good. I mean, honestly, bro, who's the defensive coordinator in Minnesota? That guy's. Imagine what he could do with our defense.
Brian Flores.
Yeah.
Man. Ron Rivera going to get fired.
Yeah.
He's a great coordinator. So even these last 2 performances, not enough to save Joe Barry's job. Then
nah, he's done, bro. He's. I mean, if it was just consistent, could be consistent, and maybe it was 1 or 2 plays a week, that we just like, because even Jordan Love takes off a play or 2, man, and you could tell, that's some rookie shit right there. But it's still like, I don't understand how we got all these 8 first rounders on this team. I mean, I'll give him this much. I'm going to say this much for him. When we were injured last against you guys, we had 16 guys on injury. Almost a third of our team was on. And we played our best defensive game. I don't know what the fuck he said to him to get him to do that, but it was, bro. I mean, that's the thing. He does enough to keep. I mean, that's why he's still here, because he just does enough to get you. I mean, we broke the top 10 1 week, and then we're back out of it again. I mean, what the hell?
Hey, Robert, I'm not going to make excuses, but we did play 3 games in 11 days, and it's not an excuse, but that we were probably pretty.
Sounds like an excuse.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, but we did play 3 games in 11 days. It was kind of rough.
So,
Good.
Chad, tell me, Chad,
you were more ready, and you got us.
So Chad's a Lions fan. You might not know it because he's not wearing Lions gear or anything, but he's a big time Detroit Lions fan. Chad, what did you see against New Orleans? What was your biggest takeaway from the Lions game?
We're not getting home. We're not getting home, which leaves our secondary, which is only mediocre, out to dry. That's what I saw. That was the main thing.
So the lack of the pass rush is still getting to you then. I mean, that's been the problem, right? And they do bring in Bruce Irvin, who gets a sack and a pile driver against Derek Carr. But I mean, that wasn't enough. Romeo Okwara got through for a sack. They were putting some heat on, though. Chad, you got to admit, they were putting some heat on him. He didn't have all the time like Jordan Love did. He didn't have all the time back there in the pocket.
Well, he didn't, but they weren't rapid when they got back there.
Right.
Man, Sam Laporta, great. That's I think Sam Laporta is your best draft pick this year, man. That guy is a fucking beast. Man.
Yeah. But Brian Branch, we hit hard in the second round this year with Brian Branch and Sam Laporta. But you think about it though, there, Robert. Jahmyr Gibbs, our first round pick, playing great.
Oh yeah, no, he's playing good too. I just wouldn't have went the 12th overall for a running back. And
I'll tell you that yesterday that Jack Campbell, our other first round pick, led the team in tackles, wore the green dot, had everybody in place, and got a win. So that's 4 in a row right there. The first 2 rounds, first 2 in the first round, 2 in the second. That makes this a historic draft for the Detroit Lions. You'll have to admit that, right?
It's a good draft for you guys. I'm not going to deny that. It's a great draft. You guys have been in position over a lot of years that drafting high because of your way you finished and I would have thought you would have done this sooner, but yeah, whoever's drafting for you now definitely knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's a point well taken that our management, this has been historically one of the worst franchises in all of sports, mismanaging contracts and draft picks, paying too much for mid-tier talent in the free agency market. And now with now I'm going to merge these two conversations together with the ascension of Jordan Love and looking like he's going to be the real deal. And the way that this Lions team is set up for the future, I think we are in for some battles for the next 10 years between these two franchises. And you know what? The Bears are on the up, and Minnesota just never goes away. So this NFC North, and you look at it right now, we just ran the table on the NFC South. You could see 3 teams from this division make the playoffs.
Yeah.
If the playoff ended today, 3 teams from the NFC.
3 of us are in.
And we are beating the Chiefs. We're beating these teams. This division as a whole is so much tougher than it was just a couple of years ago. So, Chad, I want to get your thoughts real quick on Bruce Irvin. What did you like? What did you see from him, from the new guy?
He's just getting acclimated to the defense. This is his first game. I thought.
Hold on a second, Chad. Russ, what's that noise in the background?
Her family in Chicago.
Chad, is that you?
No.
Robert, that you? Yeah, thank you, Robert. Tell your old lady to shut up. All right, here we go.
I saw promise for a 36-year-old guy that's going to finish the season opposite of Hutch. And that's all I wanted, was somebody opposite of Hutch. He could very well, be a little more productive as the season finishes out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he tried to hurt Carr. I don't, but
I don't think he hesitated one bit, though. He pile drived him into the ground, and that was they deserved that penalty, Russ.
To hurt the chain guy either, That was terrible.
Chain guy.
What?
Nobody is showing the replay of the chain guy. You had to be watching the game to see that gruesome. What happened to this guy's leg? The guy, Robert, you probably didn't see it. The guy that holds the marker, the stick.
I saw it. Me and my wife rewound it and stopped. His leg was sideways. It was bent. It was curved. It was horrible.
You could hear him screaming and holding.
Yeah. It was terrible, man.
Hey, listen, all seriousness, our thoughts and prayers go out to that guy, man. No, that should not happen to anyone. And we were kind of lamenting it there at the Lions. They were watching the game, and a guy looks over at me and goes, "Hey, that guy never has to work again in his life."
He'll be
probably true. On an NFL field, that happens to you. I imagine you're not going to have to work anymore. So anyway, let us know what you think. This is a viewer-driven show. We love to hear it in the comments. Our producer will put your comments on the screen. We'll kick it around this panel. We'll break it down. We'll shred it if it needs shredding. Let us know what you think. What's our next topic, Russell?
Our next topic, what do you guys want to talk about?
Is Josh Dobbs an alien? That is our
Bro, he is. He looks like one.
Somebody,
He totally looks like one.
somebody put a meme out there of him in the basket on Elliot's bike from ET.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just can't unsee it.
Jamison Williams
is really fast.
Jamison Williams. I don't know. We don't have a ton of people on here. I guess I'll pop in here and do a little bit of the talk. But I'm just like, what an exciting player that is. I don't know. I'm excited to be a Lion fan right now. I mean, I know that there's some doom and gloom out there. It's like I ask a Lion fan about the game, and the first thing they talk about is everything they hated about the game. And I'm just like, man, 9-3. 9-3. You put a post up today that said, wow, if I had a nickel for every time that the Lions were 9-3, I'd have a nickel.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't. No, I mean, in the last 30 years, how many times you guys had double-digit wins, like 4 or 5? I mean, you guys are going to hit double digits.
Twice in my whole lifetime, Robert, and I'm old.
See? Yeah.
So as a Lions fan, it's like I tell them out there, it's like, be happy that this is, because you could lose the next 5 games and miss the playoffs. It's possible. That's like
Playoffs.
Yeah, we're not there yet. They got to keep on the pedal to the metal, and they got to make sure that they continue to finish strong no matter what. But be happy that you're 9-3.
It is very interesting, Russ. You bring up a great point. Lions fans don't know how to we don't know how to act. We don't know how to handle being in a winning mindset.
That's so true. That is so true.
And on the flip side, it was the same when the Packers at the beginning of the season, they don't know how their minds were exploding with a losing record, Robert. I mean, right here in front of us. And God bless the Bears fans. God bless those Bears fans. They were still here every single day, like a kid wearing a helmet going on the short bus every day, right out to the curb. So, I mean, hey, God bless the Bears fans.
And A-Dub represented every single week. No matter what, he'd come in and give his A-Dub. I hope that he pops in here tonight. That would be cool.
It is interesting, though, that dynamic. Chad, what have you seen from these Lions fans like Russ is talking about? It's kind of a bipolar reaction going on here.
There's none of them that have been through what we've been through. I'm not saying none of them, but a lot of them. A lot of them probably haven't even been fans as long as us, even if they're close to our age. They're quick to give up. They forget last year. They forget us going 8-10. Who cares if we lose a game here or there? We're going to lose games we're supposed to win. Every team does. I think that half the fan base is just off the wagon. But what I did notice, one thing I say about JMO, when I saw that reverse end around reverse, whatever you call it, I saw the speed of like Deion Sanders running through. I saw Tyreek Hill speed there. I'm not kidding. Have we ever had somebody as fast as him?
No.
The NFL has not seen a guy as fast as him, bro.
And you guys think they're using him properly?
Yeah.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
No,
half the fan base will say yes.
It's a legit question, though.
It is. Half the fan base will say yes. Half the fan base will say no. My opinion is yes. What about you, Russ?
Correct.
Is JMO being used correctly?
I absolutely love the way that they're bringing him in. We have plenty of great.
Chad,
Yes, they
yes
are.
or no? Is JMO being used correctly?
Absolutely. Goff and him aren't on the. Goff doesn't have the arm for his speed. I mean, Goff's accurate. He just does not have that arm.
He doesn't have a JMO arm. Someone said he doesn't have a JMO arm.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. And some of JMO's catches, he has to slow down and turn around to catch. Rarely is he hit on his deep routes. Is he hit?
I have not seen JMO hit in stride yet as a Detroit Lion.
And a middle route. That's it.
Even then,
he's getting more snaps every week. I follow that type of thing. When you look at the next gen stat, so he's been going up in snaps. Getting 40, 50 snaps a game
Robert,
now.
To answer your question, the 3 guys on this panel say yes, he's being used right. He's being brought along kind of slowly. We have a lot of weapons, a lot of mouths to feed, but you will look in the comments, I promise you, and you will see a lot of anti sentiment to that point. So. People think we should be giving this guy the ball like Tyreek Hill, and maybe with the 12th overall pick, they're right. Maybe he's underproducing for a 12th overall pick. Chris Olave certainly looks like a much better receiver than Jameson Williams. You look disgusted by that statement, Russ. What do you got to say about that?
What? I mean, I just think that it's a long season. So do I think that would it be cool if they were feeding him 8-10 targets a game or whatever? Sure. But what if they do that 5 weeks from now and then unleash it? And then you have a problem for teams going into the playoffs because they haven't seen it all year. They can win with the guys that they've had.
I'm trying to make a point for these people that do feel the other way. And let's face it, Jaden Reed was the 55th overall selection. Jameson Williams was the 12th overall selection in 2 different drafts, of course. But still, look at the production to draft value. Jameson Williams is a below average performing draft pick. I'm not going to say the BUST word. No.
Well,
all right, I'm not going to say it.
He's not a bust, man. I don't think he's a bust. So I don't feel that way.
That would be ridiculous for you to think that too.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bust at all. He just hasn't had the opportunity. To me, he's like a Josh Gordon. I'm telling you, he just shoots himself in the foot. He's holding himself back by. If he was a player that was hungry, wanted to get out there, he would be snapping at the coaches, get me out there, let me play. I want to play. And you guys wouldn't be having this problem. You would just be like having more of a problem of shutting him up, saying, give me the ball all the time, like a Stephon Diggs.
Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't flourish in his rookie season until about the 10th week. And then from there, week and week. He wasn't.
That's true.
He wasn't putting up big numbers. He was not putting up big numbers early.
He snuck in. He snuck in. He snuck in. He was very quietly making you guys a name for himself. That his rookie year.
He was the only receiver we had that was viable.
Yeah. I think it's okay. I think it's a legitimate gripe. I mean, if I had any criticism on the last game, I would criticize the offense more than the defense because, the entire team's built around the offense. You put $100 million into your offensive line. You should be winning games with your offense. The defense isn't supposed to be some San Francisco 49ers defense. You can win with a middle of the road defense and an explosive offense. The Chiefs do it every time that they've won it.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Offense wins championships. So it's like, yeah, I would love to see them use him more. That's a fair gripe, but we do have other playmakers. So I'm not mad about it, but I understand a person that's mad about it.
I'm just saying he's not performing up to the draft pick yet.
Yeah, he only touches the ball like 3 times a game.
Right. And
so that means he only scores once, Right.
And at this point, we would have done better if we'd have drafted an offensive lineman or another DB with that pick. How much different would this team be if Jameson Williams wasn't here and we had another offensive lineman first-round stud?
I mean, right? I don't know.
You can look at that as a potential misstep by Brad Holmes, though. And if you think otherwise, you're a homer. Let us know what you think. Put it in the comments. We want to hear from you. What's next? I like the schedule thing that I'm looking at here. Chicago Bears, Chad. They get Detroit at home. Then they got to go on the road at Cleveland. How do you think they do in those 2 games?
They're going to be mad at us, but we had 4 turnovers. We're not going to do that again. The Bears can't hang with us yet. We're gonna beat them handily. 2 scores, 14 points.
All right, and then the Bears at Cleveland with Joe Flacco on the center.
Cleveland's playing better, but so are the Bears' defense is playing better. I think they're gonna get the pressure on Flacco. He can't move around as much. I think the Bears can beat Cleveland.
Wow, so Chad picking the Bears to beat the corpse of Joe Flacco.
Yep. Amen.
All right, we got a new panelist. Please welcome to the show. It's our second time on the panel. Nug! Great to have you back on the show, Nug. Nug is a Lions fan. Welcome to the program. How's it feel to be 9-3?
Feels good, but I don't want to be overzealous with the win yesterday.
Okay, what do you mean? Let's not jump the gun.
We started off great, but
all right. Well, as a Lions fan, give me your assessment of Jordan Love and the Packers last night.
Jordan Love's been throwing some dots lately. Like the team's looking good. But I think it's more an indictment on who Kansas City is, to be honest with you.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
Selling the
all right.
selling the
So then, what
package
about
short.
beating you guys the week before?
4 turnovers.
Well,
in one, and it was one really bad quarter. We outpointed you all the way the rest of the way. So, and we beat you in every statistical category.
I'm
it was
giving
just the first
your
quarter.
coach,
Robert.
your coach gave your game away, guys. Your coach gave your game away. He literally gave your game away.
How's
They
that?
beat our ass. They came into our house and beat
Hold
our
on, guys.
ass.
Hold on. I want Robert to explain how a coach gave the game away. It's probably a very good point. Go ahead.
I mean, who does a fake punt inside the 20, man?
Especially
we did it.
That was a terrible call, man. That was a terrible call. And all those fourth downs, I mean, maybe one or two you go for. I get that. But I mean, it's like he showed that he was playing desperate. And when you get like that, you're going to lose, man. And he played right into LaFleur's hand. And
I wouldn't even say it was desperate. I think he's trying to put his nuts on the table, to be honest with you. I think we
I don't think you guys expected us to come out and throw a 50-yard bomb to start out the game and score twice in the first quarter. We hadn't scored twice in the first half all year, and we scored twice in the first quarter on you guys.
I expect that.
That's fair.
I expect bombs.
I didn't expect it, and half the Packer fan base didn't expect it. Not like we did it.
Well,
I mean, whatever LaFleur did, he's changed. His coaching has, because I was all on LaFleur's ass in the beginning of the year, the way he was calling some plays. It ain't Rodgers out there playing, bro. You got a fucking rookie quarterback. You got to dumb down some of this shit and help this guy out. He's getting the offensive line was letting him get killed.
4 years.
Yep. All right. Good one, Robert. Yeah. Go ahead, Nug. Respond to that.
I mean, so if we're talking about the Green Bay game, because I wasn't on last week or whatever. I mean, when you turn the ball over, I think it was 3 times in the first quarter or 2 times in the first quarter. And our defense can't stop shit, regardless of who we're facing. Every quarterback has looked good against us, besides Bryce Young and Desmond Ridder. Mm-hmm. All right. So even Derek Carr, after his terrible start yesterday, went 15-15 until Bruce Irvin knocked him out. Mm-hmm. Our defense is porous, and we have to expect our offense to play almost flawlessly to win games.
No,
thank God we do have good offense.
Yeah. Yep.
But to say that the Green Bay Packers they're better than the Vikings, in my opinion. But I would say that's because they have a quarterback. I think the Vikings, if they had Kirk Cousins still, would still be on their win streak and would be contending for this. The division would be a little bit closer. The Packers are the youngest team, and they have a lot of potential. I like Jordan Love, to be honest with you. He threw dots, and his ball placement against the Lions was almost perfect. His ball placement yesterday was almost perfect. But Kansas City has no offense. And then you guys did get it should have been 1st and goal at the 3 with that pass interference call that did not get called at the end of the game. So it could have been a tie game. But you guys got to win. All hats off to you. You're now 6-6. But am I worried about you guys like in the playoffs? Absolutely not. Am I worried about Goff's baby hands? A little bit. I mean, he throws more ducks than he throws spirals. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, I think our offensive play calling has been atrocious the last 4 weeks.
Ooh, scathing takes from Nug. Love that take. Robert, you want to respond to that?
I got a question for you guys. You guys really think golf is your answer? You think golf is your answer?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You guys think you guys don't think he should be running hooker this year?
No, not this year. No,
absolutely not. He just started practicing this week.
I think we have one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, top 10 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
With all his turnovers?
Historically, he's one of the best.
He had no turnovers
to ever do it when it comes to taking care of the football. He's one of the best statistically. But the last 2 weeks, not including this game against the Saints, but
they've been atrocious. But he took accountability and he
3 interceptions, 3 fumbles in 2 weeks. That's a fluke. Last year, he almost set the record for most completions without an interception. The guy historically takes care of the ball. He's one of the best play action quarterbacks we've ever seen. Absolutely, I'm happy with my quarterback. Every quarterback goes through some times. Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers went through plenty of times. I think it's interesting that Jordan Love's statistics match up exactly with Aaron Rodgers through the same amount of time through the game. Don't you think that's telling? I think that's telling,
I think it's telling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do we want to give Goff $50 million?
No.
Okay.
No. And no. And Lord knows that,
no.
but Brad
my
Holmes
quarterback.
has worked this situation. We could pay him nothing for his regular contract. We'd have to do anything. He has no leverage for the next 2 years. We could pay him $31 million, and then he'd become an unrestricted free agent. We could franchise tag him for 2 more years. By that time, he'll be too old to go sign anywhere else. So no, we didn't do nothing. We're set. And then they could say they want what they want about Hendon Hooker, but Hendon Hooker's 4 years younger than Jared Goff. And when he is ready to play, that's 4 more years that Brad Holmes will have to draft another quarterback.
Correct.
He's got it set up. And he's also, by the way, folks, if you look at the intricacies of the salary cap and how it's put together, he has this fluid salary cap already in place. Whereas one guy is ready to be renewed, another guy's falling off, and we're ready to draft his replacement across the board. That's what happens when you rip it down to the studs and go 3-13-1. You can start with a baseline back from scratch and start putting it together.
First time in my lifetime they've actually tore it down.
Correct. And we are seeing it now. What would be the only thing better than the Lions beating the Packers in the playoffs would be beating the Rams with Matt Stafford in the playoffs.
I just thought about that today.
Amazing,
dude. That'd be great.
Both teams are heading for the playoffs.
Since we crept in the back door yesterday, it's all talk in the back chats about how the only people we want to see in the playoffs are you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if the Vikings don't know who their quarterback's going to be, obviously it should be Dobbs. But
Vikings are done. When they lost Kirk, that was it, man. I don't care what happens. They're not going to do nothing the rest of the season. They don't got nothing else. Yeah, but
Nug, what do you think of this comment from the comments here from Single Dads Club? Says that they were better prepared than us. Lions have been in a lull. Chicago almost beat us and may have a good chance of beating us next Sunday. You think the Bears could take care of business at home against the Lions?
I'm going to teeter off this with 2 things. I've been trashing Jack Campbell for a lot of things that he's been doing since he's been playing more. Yesterday, seeing him at middle linebacker made me realize, like, that's where he should be. Maybe if Anzalone comes back, Anzalone's more of a veteran. He can switch his position, and Jack Campbell can see the middle of the field. I'd like that a lot more. Derek Barnes played out of his mind yesterday. But to answer this question, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, when you turn the ball over that many times, it sucks. Like, and then versus the Packers, that was our worst coach game since Campbell and our regime has been here. That's plain and simple. We stopped them on a 3-and-out, and then we go 3-and-out, and then we try to fake punt to Jalen Reeves-Maben, who also played great yesterday, but he's not the guy I want with the ball in his hands, like, especially. And I'd rather, if we're going to go for it, rather just have our offensive weapons on the field at that point. I think we can get a 4th and 4 or whatever. But our play calling has been terrible lately. And I don't know. Like I everybody likes Aaron Glenn. I don't know why. I really
can
don't
the
like
Bears beat the Lions next week?
Absolutely
okay,
not.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Robert, I got to give you kudos. I agree that Dan Campbell was a huge difference in the game, and I want to tell you that I appreciate you as a Packers fan saying that, because a lot of these Packer fans just scoff that off. We'd have beat you anyway. But absolutely, when you go for it 5 times on 4th down and you only get one of them, that's not on our defense, okay? That's not on Aaron Glenn. When you turn the ball over 4 times in the game, guess what? That's not on the defense. It's not on Aaron Glenn. So let's back up for a minute. Give credit where credit's due.
Correct.
And in that first quarter, the Packers did what the Lions did to the Packers in Lambeau, came out in the first quarter and swarmed them, and they dug a hole so big that the other team couldn't get out.
So you're not worried about this defense at all, Mike?
I am worried about it. I'm worried about a lot more than Russell Wayne is. But one thing that I do look for here, Nug, is what is important is who's hot going into the playoffs. Right now, the Packers might be peaking a little too early. This team, the Lions, not peaking. They're squeaking by winning games.
We haven't peaked all season.
Correct. And if we can get hot going down the stretch into the playoffs, that's going to bode very well for this team when you get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, when you get James Houston back. These are difference makers, folks. These are players that aren't just back-end starters. These are difference makers on the field to energize and elevate the play of all the players around them. And I'm worried about this defense, but I also have faith that this team is good enough to go to the Super Bowl. If they play like they played in Lambeau, if they play like they played against Atlanta, they can beat anyone. this defense can beat anyone if they play like that.
Correct. And I mean, the way that the defense played yesterday, until Jameis Winston got in there, was porous.
Yes.
If Branch wouldn't have tipped that ball, we would have had another turnover. Obviously, Jerry Jacobs would have caught that ball if Branch didn't tip that pass. So, like, I'm not saying our defense is the worst in the league. We're like 25th in points per game given up. And like, I'm just worried about it. Like, I think
we're in the top half against the run, though. Top half against the run. The defense is average.
Yeah, but I mean, teams
better
have
than
just
it was
abandoned
last
the
year.
run against us, and they pass all over us, because we don't have a pass rush. It was nice to see some sort of it yesterday.
True. Chad, you got anything to add to these comments?
No, I think our secondary is gonna blossom a little bit more. I just got a new jersey.
Well, then we're all set then.
There you go. You guys are golden.
Call us the division champs now.
Punch the ticket.
I think Branch is steadily improving. He doesn't seem out of position ever. I think Cam Sutton's been playing a lot better.
That first play to Christian Watson on Thanksgiving, he got torched.
Yeah, but
dude, if Jordan Love hadn't slightly underthrown that ball, Christian Watson would still be running.
Yeah. Bro, did you see the time he dropped in the Dobbs last night in between three defenders? He threw
Didn't that look like an Aaron Rodgers? Didn't that look like Aaron Rodgers?
Bro, and Dobbs was falling down and hit him in the gut. I mean, how the hell does that happen? That was lucky.
Hey, I think Germ deserves special teams player of the week in the NFC, man. I mean, how many tackles did he have on special teams?
4. All in the first half.
The first 4 tackles, right?
Oh yeah, all 4 were in the first half.
I think they were the first 4 tackles on special teams, weren't they?
Yeah, and they were all in the first half.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe we need to utilize him a little more.
Campbell said that today, that he's going to try to get him on defense a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm thinking put him out.
Hopefully Ragnall's okay and doesn't miss too much time.
We need a quarterback spy when we play Fields next week. We need a quarterback spy. Put Germ out there as a quarterback spy because he's got good speed.
You mean like Connor Stallions?
How long?
Yeah,
long's Anzalone out for?
But do it when you got. I mean, the most dangerous quarterback in the league is Justin Fields as far as running. There's hands down. It's Justin Fields, and if he throws the ball, then you move. Other than that, you don't take your.
You think we need to put a spy on him like Connor Stallions?
Yes. Don't you?
I just think we need to pressure his ass. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you got to go after him.
I just blitz the shit out of him, to be honest with you.
Can I make a comment on the defense? I wanted to throw a comment because you said
I already addressed that one. You got another one? I read that one already.
I didn't put that one up. I came on to address you. You said me about the defense. You were asking about the defense. Yeah. You said that I was going to defend the defense, and I was going to put a comment in on that, but I feel like I'm way out of place now. So
you absolutely can.
No, we want to hear this. Come on, Russ.
Come on, Russ.
It's all right. It's all right.
Hold on. Let me set you up. Let me set you up, Russ.
Okay.
This take brought to you by the Homer Depot. Go ahead, Russ.
Guys, I get to defend the defense. Well, here's the thing here's the way the defense gets better is the offense needs to be better. Okay. So this team is built around the offense, and the offense had chances to close that game out yesterday. You scored 21 points in like 3 minutes or something like that. It's like, stick your pedal to the metal, do what's been working, kick their ass, run up 40 points, and fuck your defense at that point. Like, okay, when they give up 30 points, and at that point, it don't matter. The defense needs to be middle of the road. I'm not saying the defenses needs to be like San Francisco or something like that.
Yeah, but that's a recipe for fun. That sounds just like the
no, that's a recipe for being the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, that's what the Kansas City Chiefs are. Yeah. Offense wins championships, not defense.
I disagree.
Sign San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, they've had the best defense in the league for the last 6 years. How many
They've also
titles?
had terrible
0.
quarterback play and injured quarterbacks in pretty much every
0.
one of their
0
NFC
titles.
Championship games. Yeah, I mean,
0
they've
titles.
had horrible quarterback injuries at the worst amount, like the worst timing.
I'm just saying, Kansas City wins with elite offensive play and middle of the road defensive play. They don't need these guys to be the San Francisco 49ers. You just need to make key stops
Kansas City's going to be making the Super Bowl
times
this year, Russ.
That's right.
I think Baltimore.
I don't
think
know. I'm on a right, dude.
Baltimore,
I'm on
Miami.
I'm on a
Miami
magic carpet ride right now. Right now.
Listen, I'm happy too. We're 9-3.
Seen us on this carpet ride. We're on a magic carpet ride right now. However far this year takes us, this may be Jared Goff's last year here, because we do have a quarterback waiting in the wing that's learning the offense, that's athletic and accurate, and like that's going to be fun.
Regardless of how the season goes, I want to run with Goff at least one more year.
Sure. I can want in one hand and shit in the other. Let's see which one fills up first. I think they have a plan, and they don't care.
Well, the plan on defense needs to improve.
Why are you quoting my dad? Go ahead.
Hey, if Ben Johnson leaves, though, is there going to be another offensive coordinator?
Hold on, Chad. Go ahead, Chad.
If Ben Johnson leaves, I mean, is there going to be who's going to be the offense? Is that going to be a fit for Goff?
I don't think it really matters at this point.
Goff's got an affordable value left on the last year of his contract. I mean,
I love this. I love this comment, Chad. And this, I'm going to give you just my take on it. Okay. I think that Ben Johnson and Jared Goff have changed the NFL to some extent by collaborating and tailoring the offense, the Goffense. The Goffense is a registered trademark of the Main Event 365 2022, all rights reserved. By tailoring the offense to the quarterback, we've actually seen this now since Goff and Ben Johnson have done it. We've seen it around the league. They're starting to do it. I think this is a copycat league. You're going to see this going on wherever Ben Johnson goes. The new coordinator is going to work with Goff, and they're going to tailor an offense around what he does best and what he's comfortable with.
To be honest with you, I really don't think he leaves this year, to be honest with you.
Ben, if the right job comes, though, Nug, why would you stay?
Well, I mean, if you look at the places that are opening up, I think at least
Chargers.
Okay, what about this? What about in camp next year?
Hold on, let's let him finish his thought. Hold on, let's let him finish his thought. But Nug, none of us know what's in a man's heart or what's in a man's mind.
Correct. But, and this is just my opinion, and this is what I think. I think the rumor's been, and I think it's pretty much obvious that Belichick's out of the New England, and the rumor and where he would go would be the Chargers. All right, so that takes that out. He's definitely not going to Carolina because he turned down that job, and that job's only gotten worse this year. I don't think anybody's going to really want to coach, and especially a young up-and-coming coach.
Ben Johnson is a North Carolina native.
He turned down the job last year, and that job has only gotten worse because the owner's completely over steps his boundaries as far as being an owner goes. And I understand he owns the team, but you kind of got to let the coach do the job. They don't have a first-round draft pick next year. It's a terrible position to be in.
But if he follows his mentor, Dan Campbell, who got a 6-year ironclad contract, you've got time to.
Well, Adam Schefter said the contract that they offered him last year was an extensive contract, and it was like almost like full reins of the team type thing. And
wow,
obviously he turned it down. I think if we win a playoff game, I think we buy one more year with him. I mean, look at Bieniemy. He had a head coaching job waiting for him for almost 7 years, and he still hasn't taken it. He just took another OC job with Washington. Mm-hmm. Will he be the head coach there after Ron Rivera gets fired this year? Probably not. But I don't know why he would go to a job, because it's almost like career suicide with a lot of these organizations that are out here to jump the gun and become a head coach before you're absolutely ready, or before you get all your homeboys and your regime together. I don't really see him leaving this year. I really don't.
What if he gets a GM? What if somebody hires a perfect GM?
In a perfect world, then he would leave. Yeah, absolutely.
He's the same age now. He's the same age now. He's the same age now as when Kyle Shanahan became a head coach. So go ahead, Russ.
There's somebody backstage at Rhines with porn.
Yeah,
That
he
is
wants
that,
it.
that
He
backstage
says he
right
won't let
now.
him in,
I
Russell.
don't know. It's on you.
Oh,
Hey,
Jimmy Crack Corn?
Yeah,
You want me? You want me to let him in? It's up to you.
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
He's gonna go.
All right.
Why not?
There he
Why
is.
What, y'all scared of me or what?
Please welcome to the show some guy named John Dorn.
Or what?
We are completely scared.
How's those fools called Lions doing?
I'm sorry, I can't see you with that camouflage on. Do you want to be seen or not?
Who
Please
is
welcome to
this?
the show, John
It's
Dorn,
just-
whoever that
it's
is. Welcome.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love's the best quarterback in the division right now. How's that?
Yeah,
How do you
that's
feel
not
about
the
that?
song you were singing earlier this year, John.
yeah, and if they win next week, he'll say he's the best quarterback in the league.
Well, John, let's address that. I agree with you that your quarterback looks great and he's going to be a problem for the next 10 years. And I will admit, I'm worried. I'm worried. Going to have to face this guy twice a year now for the rest of my life, probably. But at the beginning of the year, you were not saying that, sir. We have the receipts. So tell me your assessment of your quarterback last night. Let's just run with that.
He played awesome like he always does. He's getting better and better every game. He steamrolled the Lions, then he came back and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I'm not worried about my team going to playoffs because I'm pretty sure we're going to get in the playoffs and knock you guys out. So that's guaranteed.
Oh, you think you're going to get the Lions in the playoffs?
Yeah, you guys ain't playing too well right now.
Not right now. We aren't.
What?
I said not right now. We aren't. There are 5 weeks
exactly.
to go in the season.
I mean, I think what Holmes should have done, he should have got another pass rusher to help out for Hutchinson. You guys are missing that pass rush.
But John Dorn, you did say that if the Lions win this,
Hold on. You did say, John, if the Lions win this division, that you will never say SOL again.
But you guys are playing, but you're barely beating teams, so I don't know. I might have to pull back on that.
You might have to go back on your word.
Beating teams right now.
You might have to become a
Beating
Welch.
teams right now. I mean, you've only beat one team over 500. You guys are full gold, man. Come on, man.
Robert,
John's
what's
throwing
going on with
butts
this?
in now.
I might stop saying same old lines, but I'm not going to stop saying fool's gold.
No, we never.
Right
that
now,
was
you
not
guys
part
are
of the
fool's
deal.
gold right
That
now.
wasn't part of the deal. We
No.
just never have to hear you say same old Lions.
It's not the same old line. You guys are definitely
No.
you guys
yeah,
are definitely doing
I'll
it a
stop
different
saying
way.
that.
You're doing it a
But I
different
will
way.
keep on saying fool's gold, though.
That's
Because
fine.
right now, you guys are fool's gold.
We love Fool's Gold. I've actually got a John Dorn doll. When you pull the string, it goes, Fool's Gold, Fields garbage. And speaking
Yeah,
of Fields garbage, let's bring in Mike the Bear fan.
Oh,
He's
here we
not there
go.
anymore.
No.
He was in the backstage.
Hey, one more. If anybody pops in, I'll give up my spot. So this
We don't
doesn't
need
go-
you to give up your spot, Chad. We got plenty of room here.
It feels dirty. It feels dirty because John Dorn, like, he didn't come on. I haven't seen you since we killed you in the first game, and then you come on. You haven't even owned the loss, and then you come on running your mouth. It's like at least Robert came on the day after we won and said congratulations on the win. You just went into witness
Why would I want to
protection.
watch a show that's
You went
fucking
into
same shit,
witness
different day?
protection. You went into witness protection and you waited till your team got good. Now you're going to come out, run your mouth. You need to acknowledge the fact that you at least that it was a split, that we whipped your ass in your home spot and then you came and whipped our ass in our spot. It was a split this year.
It is a split.
It's my quarterback.
Russ has a good point, though, John. You were missing in action, buddy.
I mean, you guys knocked such sense into it.
Hey,
You
Russ.
guys were the worst beating we took this year. I'm going to tell you that. The worst beating we took this year was from the
I'll
Lions.
give
So,
you that.
I mean,
Hey,
you
Russ,
guys
Dorn-
had when we
Welcome to
went
the
in there.
NFC North.
Dorn was around after the Bears almost beat us, calling us like fool's gold. He was around after that Bear
You
game.
gotta remember, right now is hunting season. From September on, I hunt pretty hard. And then another thing too, my mom went downhill and she passed away a few weeks back.
Oh,
Dude,
That's why I haven't been around.
Yeah.
Just like
No,
you know.
man. Prayers, John.
Well, hey,
honestly,
you get a pass. Let's bring Mike the Bear fan in. Mike, your mom didn't pass away, right? Your team just sucks.
Yeah, we just suck.
All right. Welcome to the show, Mike the Bear fan.
And sincerely, our
Are you
condolences,
outside?
John.
Are you
Bear
outside
down,
in
Mike.
Chicago? Holy
Bear down,
shit.
Mike, not Mike the Bear fan. Sorry. They all got mustaches. I don't know. Bear down,
on,
Mike.
meow.
Welcome to the show. Congratulations on not losing this week.
Thank you. I felt like we still lost.
So how bad are you going to beat the Lions this
Congratulations
week?
for getting
How
away
do you
without a
feel like you
touchdown.
lost
That's
on the bye
awesome.
week?
I know. I feel like somebody got injured while they're on vacation.
Chicago,
Carlos
you're
Santos
hosting the
for
Lions
MVP.
this week, Mike. How you feeling about your chances against the Lions this week?
I like our chances.
I
Yeah,
do too.
tell me.
I like
why.
our chances. We played well against you guys at your own turf. And you guys got to come to our turf. You know it's going to be loud with Bears fans. So
I see a split.
but I like our chances. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing a win, but we fought like I wanted to against you guys.
You did.
I want that again.
It depends on Fields how many interceptions or how many fumbles he has.
That's a good call, John.
The
But you
fumbles,
also-
yes. The interceptions, he's been good.
but no,
Yeah, I'll
that's-
give him that.
but that's because he's overthrowing his receiver and the DB. John,
Aha.
I heard you saying that you think the Bears will beat the Lions.
I think they have a good chance to. They almost did it last week.
Is there
Last
a
time.
lag? Are you at A-Dub's
The Bears
house?
got the number one
What's
rush
going on?
defense, man.
But they are
Yeah.
when we thought
The
they
Bears
were.
got the number one rush defense, man. Their defense is legit on some ends.
Our
man.
defense
Like,
definitely got a
their
lot
defense
better.
is playing
They can
really
be
good
legit.
right now. And Goff hasn't looked all that hot past
their
2
rush
weeks.
defense is legit.
Let's say, Mike, that you were Thanos in the Avengers, and you could snap your fingers, and you could guarantee one of the wins. Would it be at home against Detroit, or would it be on the road in Lambeau Week 18? You can only pick one. Which one would you rather have as a Bear fan?
Week 18, yes, in Lambeau.
That's a pipe dream there. That's a pipe dream there on that one.
Ah,
I'm going to tell you, Packer fans,
One thing's for
someday,
sure, the Packers
someday
are still
I
the number
aspire.
one enemy.
I aspire
Of
to
all
be the
NFC
answer to
North.
that question someday. The Lions still do not, that we don't strike fear in anybody, even at 9-3. So I want someday to be that where you want to beat us more than anything.
Yeah, we already did that already. We already steamrolled you the other last week.
Right. Well, hey, we got 3 out of the 4 fan bases here represented. I want to say thank you to all of you guys for being on. I'd like to say thanks to all the people in the comments. It's been a great year so far. We got 5 weeks to go going down the stretch. The Villain Squad, we're going hard on this show every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, trying to talk to all 4 fan bases. We're hoping the Vikings fans will come out of witness protection and we could get them involved as well. So for all of these knuckleheads and for Russell Wayne, the producer, I'm Main Event Mike saying thanks for being with us. God bless each and every one of you. Peace out.
Go back.
Bear
Go.
down.
Go Pack,
John
go.
Jordan talk.
Same old Lions.
yeah. Thank you, everybody, for watching the program. NFC North Open Mic. You know, as much as it pained me to watch the Packers win, it's nice to have competitiveness in the NFC North. You know, even with the Vikings, even with the Bears. Like, the Bears are 4-8, but like, they could win from their point of view. They can win, go to 5-8. You know, you got a couple division games. You take care of your division games. I mean, they could have a Lion-esque kind of ending to their season because I think that their roster is young. Same thing with the Vikings. Nice young rosters. Lions, a young roster. It's like, here's all four of these teams that are progressing. Like going forward as the season goes on. I trust the process. Mike and I have talked about this, but I trust the process of what the Lions are doing. I mean, you got these first year, second year, third year players, and they're all still learning. I mean, think about it. Derek Barnes was a 4th round draft pick in 2021. I mean, witness protection for 2 years, and then finally it clicks. Then he starts playing well. So those are the first year guys. They're still going. Some of the rookies are doing well right off the bat. But these guys are growing up together. So the team's only going to get better just by progression. Without even adding anybody, they're going to get better. I like that feeling. And I think that all 3 teams, I'll say 3, maybe all 4 of the teams in the division are all kind of going through that. Real young rosters. That's good, though. I like that.
There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious.
You ever meet somebody and they're so boring, you feel like they poisoned you? Like, you're talking to them and you're like, I feel like I'm dying right now. And I think you did it.
No, it's only when you're broadcasting. When you're broadcasting any type of football game and I can hear your voice, I feel like you poisoned me, Chris Collinsworth. You are awful. You are awful.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me. Sit back there and say my hair ain't luxurious when you know it is, bitch.
Lions going to Soldier Field. I forgot to put the live into the comments. And I have to do that while we're still live. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I've been just running my mouth. It was good to see John Dorn. It was good to see Packer fans come out of their shells. But you know what? Lion fan, you're the same way. I'm going to tell you this. Like Mike and I, from doing this every single day, every fan base is guilty of this. Rep your teams when they lose. And gosh, Lion fan, wow. We have PTSOL, and it's so evident just in the way that we love on our team. Like, if the Packers were 8-3 right now with a couple of risky wins against some, sub 500 teams, the Packers would be beating their chests. They would be talking about how it's the greatest year ever and Packers doing Packer things. Look at us, 9-3 again. Yeah. Well, Lions fans ain't used to that. Wow, just lost the game. They almost did this. They almost did, but they didn't. That's the thing. That's the difference between this team and other teams. Is when the rails start falling off, this team usually rights the ship. And then they win the game. It's usually ugly and they lose. We got to be careful not to, bitch about a win like it's a loss. because I watched some of that, what Derek Carr did in the second half of that game. There was that one that he threw off of his back foot that he just chucked up into the air. Chris Olave, you made a great play. He underthrew it grossly. If that ball was on target, it was most definitely going to be intercepted. That wasn't on the defense. That's dumb luck. And the other one where the ball's tipped, you accidentally tip it right into somebody's hand. That's dumb luck. Like the Saints were dumb luck, and they still lost. They had all kinds of things going their way. Crazy. I mean, that Bruce Irvin hit from where it was hit, if he didn't drive him to the ground where he hit him using his shoulder pad, how he hit him wasn't a penalty. It was the fact that he drove him to the ground. But if he hadn't have driven him to the ground, that was a sack. That was I'm getting off the field. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Your defense is fine. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. It's not perfect. It definitely isn't perfect. You're not going to shut teams down like the Jets or the Browns or the San Francisco 49ers. But they got good enough pieces there to play good defense, and the guys that can ascend. That should make you feel good, guys, that Bruce Irvin came in. Like, I've talked on this program about Bruce Irvin, and it was really just kind of brushed off. Oh, yeah, whatever. He's all over. He's 36. What is he going to do? Oh, yeah, he could mentor the young guys. No, this guy came in and impacted the game. Unlimited snaps. Yeah, he isn't all the way in football shape yet. But I'm only assuming that they'll give him more snaps the more it gets into football shape. And it's obvious this guy can affect the game on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson. That's what Hutchinson needs. I mean, they're putting 2 on him no matter what. Putting 2 on Hutch. Bruce Irvin was licking his chops sitting at home while he was making more chops. Retired. Hey, approach 10. They said, "What? I'm gonna get 1-on-ones like every time? Yeah, sign me up. I can win 1-on-ones. James Houston's gonna come back. He can win 1-on-ones. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or CD Deuce. You don't think that's going to help? I think the stars are aligning for the Lions. You guys can say whatever you want. The Lions have never felt this. If you're a Lion fan, feel good about it. Don't apologize for it. Because you could lose the next 5 games. It's possible. This is the NFL. You can finish 9-8 again. Well, you don't think you could lose it at Soldier Field to a pissed off Bears team? You don't think you could lose to a pissed off Bears team? You don't think that you could lose to your mentor at home with the Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson? You don't think you could lose to a division game away? The Vikings? I don't know. The end of the schedule was easy, and now it kind of looks hard. But what do they say? One game at a time. One game at a time. But that's what it is. Go take care of business. Get to 10 wins. Screw with everybody. I don't care how they got to the wins. I'm a Buckeye fan, and I'm old enough to remember 2001. And this was an undefeated Buckeye team that they kept on winning every game by like 3 points. Last second field. They won one game where it was like a 4th and 17 and they threw a touchdown pass to win the game. And then they ended up going to face an impossible team and they ended up winning the game. But it doesn't matter how you get the wins. That's the point. Doesn't matter. Find a way to win. You know what I was impressed with Goff was in the biggest moment of the game when you had the entire stadium leaning on you on a 3rd down. You moved up in the pocket. You took a hit and threw a dime to Josh Reynolds. You ended the game like a poised champion. That's all you want. That's the thing, is like, if Brad Holmes decided to extend Goff for 5 years and, what do you do with Hooker? Who cares? I would be okay with that. But I would also be okay with seeing wherever Goff is going to take you this year. Maybe he gets you a playoff win. Maybe he gets you to a playoff win. Maybe he gets you to an NFC title. Maybe he gets you to a Super Bowl, wherever Goff takes you. During the offseason, they're going to have the question, where's Ben Johnson going to go? And wherever Ben Johnson would go, I'm assured that Brad Holmes would trade Jared Goff to that very place. Actually, I think that's been the plan the whole time. I'm not gonna come out and say something like that, but they've stayed true to everything that they've said they were going to do. The Lions said they were going to build it from the studs up. And when they got to the trade deadline, why didn't you trade draft capital? Why didn't you go out and get Chase Young? You know why they didn't do it? Because they drafted Josh Pascal in the 2nd round to rush the passer. So what they did is they said, I bet on my coaching. Because would you really want Chase Young? Maybe for this year, for the time being, it would be cool. But then you got to pay this guy, and you've used a 3rd round draft pick, and you have a phenomenal GM in Brad Holmes. Why would you take his ammunition away for a now player? Do you really think you're contend right now, win now? No. I think this is house money. I think we still in house money land with the Lions. 3 years. You ripped it apart at the studs, and you got 3 years to build this thing. He even said they're ahead of schedule. If they're ahead of schedule, that means they didn't expect to be where they're at right now. And that's where they're at. They got a great core. There's a great core. They got money coming free right now that they have enough money to pay the Amon-Ra's and the Sewells, and they have enough money to pay these guys. You're going to be able to keep this band together for a minute. These next couple years. Bruce Irvin? Yeah. Oh yeah, he wants to be part of that. I think you're going to see ascending players. I think Josh Pascal is going to ascend into a decent player. I don't know if he's going to be all pro or anything like that, but I think he's going to ascend into a good run defending edge rusher. Aleem McNeil's having his best season of his career. Barnes is having the best season of his career. Jack Campbell finally is in his rightful spot in the middle of the defense. We'll see how that goes when Anzalone comes back, but he's definitely right there. He looks at home there. Brian Branch is, wow, what a steal that is. Sutton's a good cornerback. I mean, I really think that like when you look at like long term, the Lions are a shutdown corner. I mean, I think you bring one high end piece in the secondary and one high end piece in the interior. I think you got the edge rusher. I like James Houston. It's unfortunate when guys get injured, but he did. But he's going to be coming back. I like this Bruce Irvin pickup. He made an impact. I mean, if he didn't drive him into the ground, we would be talking about how Bruce Irvin ended the game, because that would essentially have ended the game, because that was on third down. That was on 3rd and 17 he did that on. I think before we kill the defense, let's recap what the Lions defense did in that game. Okay? They started out by going down and scoring a touchdown offensively for one. And then one play, they got an interception. Then they scored 14-0. Then they got the Saints to go 3 and out, and then they scored again. They were up 21-0. I mean, really, the offense to me is more. If I'm going to criticize anything, God, they should have scored 50 points in this game all day long. I mean, they could have imposed their will. But here's the thing: when Frank Ragnow got injured, there was an obvious downtick in the ability to be able to move the line of scrimmage. Frank Ragnow is a missing piece when he is not in there. That was noticeable, something noticeable. But they were still able to move people by the end. The offense was still able to go. You know, David Montgomery, don't drop third down passes. It's right on your hands. First downs, you know. The offense is that's the identity, not the defense. The defense just needs to get the stops when they need to get the stops, and they did. Did the Lions play better on defense? Hell yeah, they did. The first 5 possessions, interception, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, touchdown, 3 and out. That's the first half. That's way better than the last 2 weeks, where Jordan Love jumps out 21 points. Actually, we did to New Orleans what Green Bay did to us. And they tried to climb out of a hole. It's like, don't downplay how good Alvin Kamara is either, or Taysom Hill. Gosh, I think sometimes we lose ourselves in like wanting to downplay what defense is doing, and then we don't upplay when people, you know, elevate their game. And some of that shit was dumb luck. I'm sorry. In that second half, on a 3rd and 17, my Bruce Irvin accidentally drops. I'm not going to say accidentally. Don't drive the guy into the ground, but he still sacked him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just sack him properly. The hit was good. Just don't drive him to the ground. And then that's game over. That's couple run plays at that point. You know? I mean, you're up by double digits at that point. And then the other play, the tip play, that was a dumb luck 4th down conversion, I think. Might have been 3rd down conversion. Whatever. That's not going to happen in every game. The dumb luck stuff, sometimes those bounces are going to go your way. The Lions didn't have any of those go their way in the Saints game. And you still won. Is that an indictment on the defense? Yeah, the pass rush needs to be better. Damn it. Get to the damn passer. You gotta get him in there. Aleem's playing good, but you need to even be better than that. You need to be even better than good. And there's part of it that I'm frustrated with, but I'm not frustrated. I'm breathing. That's 9-3 air. That's the first time I've ever breathed that. I don't care how we got here. That's the cool thing, is you can go back to the drawing board like a loss, and you can get it better. Chad, you think Jameson? I believe in Jameson Williams. I think this guy is going to be a stud.
For sure.
You know, they're only giving him the ball a couple times, but every time that he's out there, the defense goes, whoa, okay, he's out. They're watching his every step. They're stepping back, an extra 2 yards because they know the speed is there. And it just opens up the middle of the field. I mean, Sam Laporta is probably going to buy Jameson Williams a steak dinner. Because thank you for opening up the middle of the field. Thank you for having people pay attention to you. Because now the middle of the field's wide open. And Sam Laporta is going to feast. That might be our best draft pick. But who cares about, which one's the best pick or whatever. The fact that all those guys, high impact. Just like these guys are talking about Jordan Love. I mean, that's cool, watching your guys ascend. Watching them progress, watching the game slow down to young players. But it's starting to happen for Lions guys too. Like, you're going to come to the playoffs and you're going to be like, ha, we're better. Well, we're better too. Gibbs, the game is starting to slow down to him. That's a real back right there. I don't give a shit where we drafted him. Oh, we drafted him too high. He's a high impact player. To me, no matter where you draft the guy, as long as he's top 10 at his position, and I think there's a chance that all 4 of those guys that they drafted in the first 2 rounds can be top 10 at their position. Jahmyr Gibbs is a running back. Jack Campbell is a linebacker and tackle. He's a tackling machine. He's been a good tackler all year. Sam Laporta, damn, he's already top 3. He's on a historic run. Brian Branch, he could be top 10 at the position easily. It's like that. That's crazy. That's hitting. I don't care what you drafted. You drafted this guy too high. It doesn't matter. If you're getting starters, and you got to give Green Bay credit too. You got to give them credit for their draft, for their young players. I mean, you trade away Rasul Douglas, you get picks for the future, and your team gets better. Isn't Nixon a kick returner? And now he's a shutdown corner too. Well done, Gutekunst. I'm going to say your name right today because you deserve that credit. Gutekunst. Well, that was at least my best attempt at it. This has been War Week. This is War Week. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you. I love that the viewership went up after the show was over. Just listening to me ramble on. I appreciate you. We're broadcasting live into the Villain Squad. Please give us a follow. Like the video, please. The video that you're watching right now, give it a like. I threw the link to the YouTube channel in the comments. Please give us a subscribe. And join me tomorrow morning. Football Talk with Russell Wayne. We're going to hit all the PFF stuff. We're going to do all the nerdy stuff. So if you're into the deep stats, we're going to cover all of the Green Bay Packers versus the Chiefs. Look at all that, and we're going to look at the Lions game too as well. And we'll probably get into some other stuff since the other two teams were on a bye. We really ain't got nothing to talk about with them. But thank you so much for being part of the broadcast tonight. Mike the Bear Fan, Alice Hall Report, Detroit Lion News. And for everybody that's listening right now, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow morning. Football Talk with Russ Wayne.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.